New York up to something big now. And I'm about to get into it right after this report because they was talking about the singularity and everything and how close it is. But New York didn't open up this 50-mile radius pretty much corridor. And I'll tell you what type of corridor it is in a second. They've just set up, the health corps and everything else, getting ready for the medical rollout of troops and everything else. So we're gonna get you into this first. I want you to see this, and we'll get into that. Former Google exec warns that AI researchers are creating God. So this is what they're saying. They're not technically creating God. They're creating some machine-like form of something that they want to worship, and they already was creating it. But I'm guessing now that it's getting super close, they're warning again because they probably already got in the back scene. So listen to this. What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Gorilla Press, Corey, Judy, Lori, JC, Tim. What's going on? According to a former Google executive, the singularity is coming. And what's more, he says that it poses a major threat to humanity. Yeah, the singularity of the spiritual people coming too. What's up with that? The singularity of, God's creations coming. Anyway, let's read you more into this. Mo Gaudat, however you say it, formerly the chief business officer for Moonshot organization, was called Google X at the time, issued his warning in a new interview with the Times. And he said that he believes artificial intelligence, sort of all-powerful sentient AI seen in science fiction, like Skynet from Terminator, is inevitable, and that once it's here, humanity may very well find itself going down the apocalypse. Okay, so now he talks about what made him scared when he seen the development of this stuff. So here's the part right here. What's going on, Foley? Anyway, Gaudat, sound like some new form of a crawfish, but nah, let me stop. Gaudat told the Times that he had his frightening revelation while working with AI developers at Google X, who were building robot arms capable of finding and picking up small ball. After a period of slow progress, Gaudat said that one arm grabbed the ball and seemed to hold it up to the researchers in a gesture that to him seemed like it was showing off. And he said, and then suddenly he realized this was really scary. Yeah, Gaudat, what do you think is going on here? He said it completely froze me. Then reality is, he added, we're creating God. And they're not actually creating God. They're creating something that they're going to try to make in the image of God. And so that's why the 2020 headquarters and everything else is getting set up. The global, New World Order religion is coming. But again, we're going to fight back against all tyranny. And so this is what's happening in New York. And I want to get you into this because it's like a colony level rollout. And it's the first in the nation to actually do this. So she's got a 50-mile drone corridor. First in the nation 5G test network for unmanned aircraft. Nobody behind it, we're saying. And so I'm going to read this. I'm going to read this report to you as we read it so you can get the sci-fi looking scenario. So here we go. Yes, people says demon possessed robots. Yeah, they definitely are using entities to probably go into those AIs. And so AI is going to become, they say, sentient. But let's get into this right here. I'm going to read you this article. Governor Kathy Hochul today announced, it says, Open Generation has determined this corridor is prime location to launch the nation's first 5G unmanned aircraft systems testing range, a designation that will greatly enhance New York's position as a global leader in emerging technology sector. What you think that means? In the global New World Order system, that's what it means. And so basically, this is phase one where they start setting up. They got the UN headquarters. They're setting up the unmanned drone aircraft. They're going to eventually roll that out. Remember, they already said, hey, we're going to have drones, to control the populations later so that it can be better for the pandemic. Our drone quarter being selected for the launch of the nation's first 5G unmanned aircraft systems testing range further positions our state, specifically the central New York and Mohawk Valley region, as the global leader in markets for cutting edge technology, Governor Hochul said. Through our continuing investment in the drone corridor, we are strengthening and growing our regional economies for generations to come. Generations for the Buddha tyranny of the technological dictatorship. In my opinion, it says a New York-based nonprofit organization provides expertise in unmanned aircraft and is a member of Open Generation, manages a New York 50-mile unmanned aircraft system corridor and playing vital role in advancing 5G innovations. So, New York State established itself as the nation's premier destination for drones and businesses in forefront innovation by making 30 million investment, and they've done that all the way from 2016. Now it says they invested nearly 70 million over the past 5 years to advance the unmanned aerial systems. So this is where we're at, right? The unmanned aerial systems now. New York positioning itself to establish a permanent health corps, and now they're establishing themselves as a global leader in the unmanned aircraft systems. So now you can see how the UN headquarters in New York is going to try to export this technology. This is the next thing I think is coming. The next thing I think is coming is that they're going to try to export this technology to different nations across the US, across the world. And so that's why they're setting it up in this fashion, because they want that fascist, pretty much technological dictatorship, and that's where it's all headed. But as we're in those moments, we have to arise and awaken to the reality of what's happening. And they want the singularity, but at the same time, we have to remember the singular goal of our soul in this battle. And so, is the will of evil men more powerful than good women and good men? That's the real battle here. This is the real situation we're dealing with. Is good people so good that they would allow a society to be taken over? And again, I get it. It all comes down to spirituality, but it also comes down to self preserving. It comes down to remembering that we have a role, we have a duty, we work in unison with God. We are the form of creation that's organic life, and they want to change that. And so for centuries we've been ruled like this, and it just has to stop, man. I'm really sick of seeing it. I really am. And I hope you feel the same way. But remember, if you feel that way, there's millions of us that feel that way. What are you going to do to change the scenarios that we're in right now? That's the real question. Every single day, you got to do something to make a change in somebody's life, or somebody, or somewhere. And that's what we're talking about here. Thanks for tuning in. We'll have more information coming a little bit later. I have another live stream coming up. We just wanted to talk about this because this is an important technological move that they just made in New York, that they're going to roll out. They're going to be the colony style drone scenario. You might see that pretty soon. And it won't be too long. It'll probably be by the end of the year or beginning of next 2022. They expect a lot of things to take off. And so I wanted to announce this because nobody's talking about it. Thanks for tuning in. Get the report out, please. And don't forget, we'll have a part 2 coming to the nanotech defense. That'll be coming up pretty much Friday. We'll have a video out on that. So thanks for tuning in. And we still have another video that you probably haven't checked. If you haven't checked any videos, it'll be on the right side. Thanks for tuning in.